Welcome and thank you very much for checking out my review of Bloodshot, directed by Dave Wilson and starring Vin Diesel as the title character based on the character from Valiant Comics. And it tells the story of Ray Garrison, an elite soldier who is killed in battle and is brought back to life by an advanced technology that gives him the ability of superhuman strength, fast healing, but unfortunately he has amnesia about his life, so he doesn't remember what happened to him, how it happened to him, but he has these sort of visions / nightmares about it. And so eventually he goes after the people who wronged him in life and whatever. I'm sure the first trailer of this film already spoiled a lot more than what I just said. Now, if you guys have followed me for a while, you know I'm a comic book guy. I love my comic books, I love my comic book movies, and I know a lot about Marvel and DC, but that's really it. This, however, is actually the one character I know a little about outside of Marvel and DC. And let me just say that I really like this character. This character, if I was to pitch him to you without you knowing anything about him, this is basically RoboCop meets the Punisher. That's basically Bloodshot. But the film is nothing like that, and that's not inherently a problem. However, this film is at least partly written by Jeff Wadlow, the man behind Fantasy Island and Truth or Dare. So yeah. Now we live in a time where comic book movies are all the rage, and they've become as legit as any other movies. The MCU is kicking ass, the DCU, despite some problems, I like most of their films, yet Bloodshot is very much like an early 2000s comic book movie. It's got a lot of Daredevilisms in it. And I mean 2003 Daredevil, people jumping from high places to other high places, and logic not making sense in this world, even by this universe's standards of logic. But let's talk about what works in this film. Visual effects. For the most part, they're good. There is one character in this film who has like prosthetic legs, and they actually look really good. The nanites, when you go inside Vin Diesel's bloodstream and whatnot, actually looks really good. There are visual effects in this that are actually really great to look at. And this is a first-time director, so he makes a lot of this film look cool visually, but that doesn't help you in telling a story, unfortunately. He has directed video game cinematics before, but that's really it. That's really all he's done, and that's really all the positives, or semi-positives, that I have to say about this film. Vin Diesel is really bad. And look, I love Vin Diesel. I love him in the Fast and Furious movies. I love him in everything I see him. I follow him on Instagram. I love the guy, and I love him as an actor. He is not only really bad, but he's severely miscast in this role. There are a ton of supposedly emotional scenes in this film, and Vin Diesel just... he can't, guys. It's not a fit for him. Look at the Fast and Furious movies. He just needs to look angry. That's the emotional range that he can display. And in this film, we needed a little more than that. And it becomes even more awkward because you can definitely see that Vin Diesel is like trying to do something else beyond being angry, but he really can't. Everyone else around him, though, there's really no characters to them. Eiza González, Guy Pearce, Sam Heughan from Outlander, they're just cardboard cutouts of placeholders for character types that these films need to have. And that's what they're there to do, and they just can't make it work. They're actors, they're not miracle workers. We also need to talk about character motivation, which doesn't exist in this film. It's completely thrown off the window right from the get-go, and it just doesn't make the story move. And therefore, it takes the pacing completely away from the story. There is no sense of pacing in this whatsoever. And plot-wise, this is very much X-Men Origins Wolverine. I found myself dumbfounded at how similar it was, and these guys did not get a lawsuit on their asses because it's so damn similar. Except in X-Men Origins Wolverine, you kind of have a mystery. Even if you find it predictable, the film itself plays it as a mystery. This one doesn't. Not only did the first trailer spoil everything about it, but you can just see the writing on the wall on this one, and it's not even played as a big shock when reveals happen, so you really feel nothing. It's completely devoid of any emotion. Also, if we're going to talk about action, Action sequences in this film are absolutely dreadful. I found myself dreading when action sequences were about to start, because through this film I got used to cuts all over the place. An extreme close-up cutting to a wide and then cutting to an extreme close-up again, and then the wides don't make sense in between themselves, but neither do the extreme close-ups. I had a massive migraine every time an action sequence came on, and for the most part, that's the only problem about him, except in the last one where there's really bad CGI put into it. I mean, 2003 Daredevil level of CGI. Vin Diesel falling from a building, grabbing onto Sam Heughan and punching him, but both of them are made out of CGI. Wow. That was really bad. And I could go into the script, but there really is no point, is there? I don't know how many rewrites this film went through. I know it's been ready for a while. The original date was 2017. I know this film has been shot and in post for a while. Bloodshot is incoherent, it's inconsistent, it's got no layers to it, is as surface level as a film can be. It's as cardboard cutout as a film can be. There's miscasting all over the place. There is barely any energy put into it. I found myself wondering what attracted any of these actors, including Vin Diesel, to a project that felt so in early stages, not even ready to be made. I'm giving Bloodshot a D. Now, what did you think about Bloodshot, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you're a fan of the character, if you read any of his stories, and let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about this film. I think a lot of people are enjoying it, even as a guilty pleasure, and I wish I could have felt the same. Thank you so much for watching once more, my beautiful geekies. You are the best. Stay tuned for more reviews to come very soon. I hope to see you there, and so until the next one, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video, because it really helps me and the channel a lot, but most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.